Here we go again. Today we are going to read Swallow's tiny episode.
Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God opened a screen each before them and entered the Virtual Universe Company's website to submit their names. On the main page, there was a very clear number, 1948, 593, 889. Within a few seconds the numbers immediately jumped greatly, becoming 2,008,299,173. Beside these numbers were the words in universe language, Ganwu Universe country participants head count. So many people have signed up.
Thank you for
Thunder God said
watching.
shocked, a lot
Goodbye.
indeed. Luo Feng looked carefully. That's right, it has already exceeded 2 billion. When I entered the slaughterhouse to train, I didn't even see the declaration. But when I came out, it was already there and I immediately came to look for you guys. It definitely hasn't been that long. Thunder God exclaimed, within the time I was training, there were actually so many people who had signed up. The entire Ganwu Universe country has over 100 million galaxies. Luo Feng laughed and began to register for the event. We still have to input our information. Luo Feng looked at the screen helplessly, before swiftly filling it in and pressing the submit button. Scan complete. Star Level 7 Spirit Reader, application successful. The application process of the Virtual Universe Network had the ability to scan a person's ability and strength. Hence it could automatically verify that the applicant was a star level. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain, Island 9-Star Bay. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God appeared simultaneously at the house entrances, smiling as they glanced at each other. Daddy. Little Hai ran excitedly at Luo Feng. Daddy, why have you come? I haven't seen you here in such a long time. Come, sit on Daddy's lap. Luo Feng sat in a chair beside him. While hugging his son on his lap, he pointed in mid-air. A screen appeared automatically, and he swiftly opened the mail. We welcome your participation in the Universe Human Race Genius Battle Selection. There have been over 822.5 billion star levels that have signed up for the selection this time, within the Ganwu Universe country territory. This amount has exceeded previous times' participation by over 110 billion. This has made our Virtual Universe company very happy. We can guarantee that the genius selection process will happen under the fairest of conditions. The level of participants range from star level 1s, 2s, all the way to level 8 or 9. To be fair, during the True Geniuses selection, the True Elimination Arena will be held within the Virtual Universe. All participants will have the same bodies physically while maintaining a star level 9 ability. Everybody's spirit powers will be at the same level too, at the star level 9. All participants will have exactly the same physical abilities. However, their looks can be customized. One can pick out their own genetic weapons or spirit weapons, not exceeding 10 of them. A reminder to participants, even though level 4 or 5 spirit weapons are strong, if one's abilities are weak, it can't be used properly. We advise you all to pick what's suitable. At the same time you can pick genetic armor, not exceeding level 2, and acquire storage rings that have food and beverages within. Genius selection. The test will be on willpower, domain, experience, law comprehension, etc. This time's genius selection will be separated into 2 levels. The first level will be each universe country picking out their top 1,000 warriors. The second level will be the gathering of all the top 1,000s from each universe country. Then there will be a final battle to decide the universe's top 1,000. Second brother, third brother, this genius battle is going to be brutal. Just through the elimination level alone, over 800 billion participants will be eliminated, and only 100,100 will remain. Hong smiled. This'll make everyone kill frantically within the first round. I can just imagine the scene of a psychotic world full of fresh blood and corpses. There's too many people, hence they have to resort to such measures. Thunder God smiled. I'm anxious already. Luo Feng laughed, his eyes gleaming with a sense of bloodthirst. The current Luo Feng would occasionally enter the slaughterhouse and select a large amount of opponents to madly slaughter. Luo Feng could only rely on such methods to vent out the bloodthirst that permeated even from within his soul. And the elimination level allowed 8.2 billion people to madly slaughter within each world. The one who was most anxious and anticipating of the 3 brothers was Luo Feng. Kill. Luo Feng imagined himself killing 10 people in one blow. It was thrilling. At the end of the submission period, the Virtual Universe Company began to move. The preparation itself was tedious and complex. However, the Virtual Universe Company's efficiency was extremely high. 1 month after the submissions closed, China time year 2066, May 16th. This day was the gathering day for the Ganwu Universe Elimination Selection. Countless humans were watching this elimination battle. And on this day, China time March 16th, a large amount of participants started to gather, 820 billion people in total. On average, every galaxy within the Ganwu universe had less than 1 million people. One had to know that every galaxy had at least a few tens of thousands of star level 9s, much less level 1 to level 9 added together. This means to say that those that dared to sign up all had confidence. Over 820 billion. Some had lucky meetings. Some had natural talent. Some had good teachers. Some had the hearts of powerful warriors. All in all, whatever type and form, they all regarded themselves as strong. Including Luo Feng and his brothers, these 820 billion star levels all gathered together in the Ganwu universe country. The elimination will be sorted into 100 worlds. I'm in world 72. Thunder God, Luo Feng, how about you too? Ha ha, I'm in world 88. I like that number. 30, what about you? I'm in world number 1. A gathering of 820 billion people. What kind of scene was this? Everybody take notice. This elimination process will be separated into 100 worlds. We will begin the group teleportations shortly to each of your assigned worlds. Please use the time to prepare yourself. The moment the elimination begins, you'll be unable to request for weapons anymore. A clear voice resounded throughout the continent's skies. Luo Feng lowered and checked himself to make sure he had everything he needed. Dressed in a dark grey level 2 genetic armor, wearing a helmet and boots, with one storage ring on his finger. Things like his shield, genetic energy battle knife, soaring shuttle, Nanshan armament, these were all stored within the storage ring. The weapons simulated by the virtual universe were exactly the same as the ones used in real life. We will begin the teleportation, counting down. 60, 59, 58. The clear voice resounded throughout the continent. Amidst the sea of people, Luo Feng and his brothers exchanged glances. Good luck. Luo Feng smiled. We'll pass the elimination together. Thunder God smiled. All the best. Hom 2 smiled. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teleport. That clear voice used universe language, resounding throughout the entire continent's 820 billion people's ears. In an instant, everyone there vanished. Simultaneously. Within the virtual universe, 100 independent worlds opened up and 8.2 billion fighters appeared on each. The humans of the universes. Genius battle, the elimination round for all the universe countries began simultaneously. As a gathering of all the human race, from those way above in the upper echelons, the undying, down to those normal citizens able to enter the virtual universe, all were watching this event. Of course, the warriors and citizens were mostly concerned about their own universe country stage. The first world. During the teleportation, Luo Feng felt his vision blur. Everything grew muddy, and after about 3 seconds, it became clear once again. He found himself standing within a regular living room. Besides this room, there was also the bedroom and bathroom. This is the first world. What a shocking gravitational force. Standing in the living room, the strong gravitational force made him somewhat uneasy. He looked down to see his quantum computer on his wrist. The screen automatically received and opened the virtual universe's organizer's mail with information. The screen was filled with words. Participant, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 0 kills, 0 world, world number 1 time. The elimination stage will carry on for 30 days. When the time ends, the stage will end and the victor will be decided by the points accumulated. The soaring shuttle, which was floating beside him, immediately shot out a light that formed into a beautiful golden fish, completely different from the form from 3 years ago within the slaughterhouse. The current swordfish formation Luo Feng controlled was almost like a real fish. It seemed unthreatening. However, the golden fish brushed past the axe heads and immediately pierced right through the tall and sturdy man's forehead. His eyes still seemed like he was in disbelief and shock, as his mouth slightly opened as though he wanted to say something. His head split open and the tall and sturdy man immediately fell on the floor. His axes too fell onto the living room floor, causing the ground to slightly shake. After training madly with the Nanshan armament for the past few days, using the soaring shuttle now gives a really special and very relaxed kind of feeling. Luo Feng smiled. It was similar to one constantly lifting a 100 kilograms weight and going back to lifting 10 kilograms. It was much lighter and simpler than before. It was this feeling that Luo Feng was experiencing. The difficulty of the soaring shuttle wasn't even 1/1000th of the Nanshan armament points. Luo Feng looked down to look at his wrist. The screen numbers had changed. Participant, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain, points, 1 rank, 696, 034, 836 inch. The entire stage will last a month. Since there's too many people at the beginning, the killing will be extremely intense. In contrast, towards the end the numbers will decline. Yet, those who were able to survive till the end will definitely have high points. When that time comes, killing one person would be more effective than killing 100 now. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Also, the more powerful one is, the more he's susceptible to being surrounded and ganged up on. Being surrounded by 10,000, 100,000 to even 1,000,000 same level attackers, no matter how powerful, he would die too. I'll stay low-key for now and get used to the strength. When Luo Feng sneakily left the house, he followed the staircase swiftly down. One level after another, he scanned the area and met 9 opponents along the way. They were not bad though. There was even a spirit reader controlling a spirit weapon comparable to Luo Feng from 3 years ago. It was a pity that the current Luo Feng was extremely powerful. His improvement speed had been incredible over the past 3 years. From no domain to already a level 5 domain. And he even stepped into the basics level of the Golden Law Origins. This has made Luo Feng's strength grow and increase in an unbelievable rate. Even Hong and Thunder God were far from being his match. Using the soaring shuttle to form the golden swordfish infused with a thread of the golden principles produced a shocking power. Destroying these opponents was indeed simple now. After all, even Barbata thought that Luo Feng could take the title of #1 in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. First world, all participants could at most fly to a height of about 9,000 meter above ground level. Any higher and they would meet with an invisible barrier. Above that barrier, there was a universe ship flying slowly. In one of its single rooms, Luo Honggua, Gongshin Lan, Shushin and their 2 children, along with Shushin's older brother Shugang and his family were present. They are actually not broadcasting this battle. Shugang exclaimed. If one wanted to watch the elimination battle, they would have to sit in a universe ship and come here to watch, and the cost is so high, big brother, it's normal that they don't broadcast this. Shushin laughed. 8.2 billion people are battling it out. How would they possibly broadcast every battle? Through the external image simulator. Shushin and the others lowered their heads to look. There was massive bloodshed happening in the cities on the continent below. They could even enlarge their view to clearly watch the battle and be able to see each participant's appearance. Of course, if the participant hides in a building, they wouldn't be able to see him. Mommy, Daddy, Daddy's rank is constantly dropping. Little Hai bit on his lip. He was holding a screen in his hand and on it were 3 rank charts. These were precisely the charts from the first world, the 72nd world and 88th world. He had locked onto these 3 worlds of which Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were on. Luo Feng's rank dropped constantly. Uncle's rank is dropping too. However, second uncle's rank is rising. Little Hai said, second uncle's rank is rising like crazy, rushing into the top 100,000 already. Daddy and big uncle are in the bottom 10 million and dropping. What do you know? This is called conserving energy. Little Ping said. Little Hai stared at him. Of the 8.2 billion below, who is Daddy's match, is there any need to conserve energy? Ha ha. Beside them, their grandfather and grandmother too laughed. They are talking big nowadays. Shugang laughed too. Come Little Hai, sit on uncle's lap. No, Little Hai lowered his head, turning to stare back at his screen in his hand. Luo Feng and Hong were indeed at the bottom, since their ranking was quite low and not noticeable at all. In the air above the 61st world, a beautiful universe ship was located. Within it were a group of young men and women holding wine glasses and eating delicious food while watching the battles through the external virtual simulator. Ha ha, the top ranker is from our universe country Starfield. At 3 meters tall, a towering sturdy man dressed in a luxurious long robe holding a wine glass laughed carefreely. Oh, hee hee. Luo Tua, your Pinyu Empire's results are not bad. There's some in the top 100. Thank you, Your Majesty, for the compliment. A man with a pigtail, with a peculiar gem embedded in his forehead laughed. The Pinyu Empire has always been one of the empires under the Ganwu universe countries that has produced many strong warriors. Right, Luo Tua, I heard some news from your side, saying they are going to make you the emperor's first successor. I heard that too. Luo Tua, once you become the emperor of the Pingyu Empire, don't forget about us, Luo Tua. This youth smiled, shaking his head, saying those are just rumors and nothing has been confirmed yet. No matter what, I can never compare to your majesty. Your majesty is the only son of the heavens. You'll definitely take over the position of the emperor in the future. The heavens territory is 10 times larger than my empire. That 3-meter tall and sturdy man couldn't help but laugh when he heard this. Ganwu Universe country, its territory was vast. The highest person in position was undoubtedly the country leader. Under him were many other strong warriors. Such a high position in the Ganwu Universe country can mostly only be attained by undying beings. And these title holders, their territories were no lesser than those middle-level civilizations. Some are even bigger. Brolin, why haven't I seen your Black Dragon Mountain Empire? That majesty looked at the not too far away Brolin. Yes, Brolin, the last time the Black Dragon Mountain participated, it didn't seem to have anyone who even made it into the top 10. 000. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire's recent performances seemed to be pretty bad. Watching the battle from within a universe ship's single room was Nuolan Shan. He was only one person present in that room, head ancestor. Only 83 of the disciples taking part are still alive, the rest have been killed. The number of people at the beginning were too many. Hence, the killings were so intense that they couldn't even escape. Right now, among the 83 of them, the highest ranking one is ranked 1.3 million. Looking at the news from the screen, Nuolan Shan's expression grew ugly. Bunch of useless things. Nuolan Shan shook his head. However, it's still early, let's keep watching. Hopefully, I will get a good surprise. First world, still within that residential building. In a normal room, Luo Feng sat cross-legged quietly. His gaze was fixed on the golden orb before him. Those blurry and peculiar 9 golden blades were infused with large amounts of golden energy, with threads going through all of them had formed the orb, and it was revolving in an orbit that resembled the number 8 in front of Luo Feng. Its speed extremely fast. Gather. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. The golden orb immediately separated and became a golden light as it flew back towards the dark golden rod by his leg. Luo Feng felt exhausted. The amount of energy consumed while controlling the Nanshan armament was too high compared to the soaring shuttle. However, its strength was indeed shocking. Luo Feng sat cross-legged patiently for about an hour, recovering his spirit energy. It's been 10 days. This first world's illumination has already been going on for 10 days. During these 10 days I've been in this building. Even when people entered, I've been too lazy to make a move, unless they came too close. Lu Feng lowered his head and looked at his screen on his wrist. It clearly displayed his points. Participant, Luo Feng points, 92 rank, 68, 942, 048 inch. There's over 60 million people with higher scores than me. Luo Feng smiled. 10 days, a third of the stage is over. The mad killing period has already passed and I assume that the survivors now must all be powerful. These 10 days, I've already honed my basics. Also, my spirit energy has already formed the Void Pagoda within my consciousness. The Void Pagoda was a special technique. However, this was not something of the Yunmo Planet Master's creation. Back then when the Master lost his life, he hadn't even trained to the highest level of such a skill. Within the virtual universe, it was possible to unleash such a skill. After training for about 9 days worth of time, Luo Feng finally managed to form the Void Pagoda within his consciousness. However, it was just at level 1. Nevertheless, it caused his soul's defense to increase greatly. Along with his shockingly amplified strength, which was of a universe level 6 golden horned beast, not many people from the same level could even match up to him. Right now. It's time to make my move. Let the massacre begin. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with a peculiar color. He gently stood up and walked out of his own house, very quickly leaving the residential building. The area in which the building was located was initially a beautiful place. However, the ground was already filled with shards of broken glass, dried up blood and bodies. To make the battles more realistic, the virtual universe made it so that the bodies remained after death. Walking on a patch of grass in the area, 6 people. Luo Feng gazed at the 6 before him. To be able to survive till now, these 6 people's points must definitely all be higher than his. Move. Of the 6, it was unclear whether it was a man or woman's voice, but the one dressed in black genetic armor ordered. Simultaneously, a formless spirit attack pierced towards Luo Feng's consciousness. To be able to survive in the first world till now, these were all considered geniuses to a certain extent. One of them was already considered to be among the top 3 geniuses of a certain galaxy. Luo Feng swept with his spirit energy as a form of provocation. When one person ordered them to move, the other 5 naturally took action. 2 youths with almost the same appearance simultaneously attacked with thunder-infused blades. A silver flash and a golden flash shot from the distance. The earlier spirit attack from the black genetic armor youth hit Luo Feng's soul. Yet, within his consciousness, that tall void pagoda only gently shook, easily blocking the attack. Luo Feng stood on his soaring shuttle, as his body was surrounded by a gold energy. His movement was but a blur as he easily dodged the enemy attacks, domain. On top of that, his domain is extremely strong. The 6 people's expression changed. With the help of a level 5 domain, along with the soaring shuttle, whose original property was that of the gold origin laws, Luo Feng was able to step through the gateway of the origin laws. Using the soaring shuttle, his speed had reached an unbelievable proportion. Hence, dodging these attacks was quite simple, die. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. One actually survived. Luo Feng looked at that sun-tanned skinny youth. The other 5 had already fallen dead. The skinny youth held onto his blood-red arc knife, while staring at Luo Feng and biting down on his lip. At the same time, the numbers on his wrist screen jumped. Participant, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain, points, 8162 rank, 122,912, is a spirit reader, and also has a flying type spirit weapon. His flying speed is much faster than my current running speed. Even if I try and escape, I won't be able to. Many thoughts quickly flashed through this tanned skinny youth's mind. Friend. The skinny youth shouted, I've made a mistake. You are actually a warrior, who stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. I might have some information here for you. As long as you spare me, I'll tell you information. Luo Feng stood on the soaring shuttle, staring at the skinny youth, right. Information. The entire first world has a total of 91 cities. Every city has close to 100 million participants. The skinny youth looked at Luo Feng. Within these 10 days, we were able to determine that every city has a few renowned absolute warriors. Anyone meeting any of these absolute warriors should completely avoid them. I'll give you the names and information about these warriors in this city, if you can spare me. The skinny youth stared hard at Luo Feng, not daring to relax. Absolute warriors. Luo Feng smiled slightly. Right, if you meet an iron war, it'll be too late to regret. The skinny youth said. Ha ha. Luo Feng smiled and looked at the skinny youth. Not just this city, even within the first world. There isn't a single person capable of making me feel fear. The skinny youth's expression changed. Rumble. The skinny youth stomped on the patch of grass and flew, becoming a black silhouette rushing straight towards Luo Feng. The blurry blood-red wave that surrounded the skinny youth started to wrap itself around the arc knife in his hand, and it sliced at Luo Feng at shocking speed. Fast. Sly. Brutal. Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle and became a golden beam of light, dodging the attack by a large distance. Xiao. The golden fish happily flew around Luo Feng's side. It then started flying towards that skinny youth, and in an instant it had reached right beside that youth. Dang. The skinny youth's body form was that of a monster. His blood-red knife once again blocked the golden swordfish. I hate these types of spirit readers the most. The skinny youth was filled with rage and hatred. Stepping on a spirit weapon, and making others unable to catch them, also attacking and controlling a spirit weapon from the distance. Bastard. He was completely immersed within his domain and controlling it. He was trying his best to use all his strength and deflect that seemingly harmless golden fish over and over. Luo Feng stood on his soaring shuttle. His strength is not bad. Seems like a level 4 domain break. Luo Feng's expression got serious. He started pouring his extremely powerful amplifier into the golden swordfish. With his full control, the thread of origin law fused perfectly with the golden swordfish. Its flexibility and speed immediately rose by leaps and bounds. Totally controlling it compared to casually controlling made a big difference in its power. A golden light brushed past that skinny youth's knife, immediately piercing through his forehead, leaving a deep hole in his head. His eyes rolled, seemingly unsatisfied. In the air above the first world, above the barrier. Within a single room of a universe ship, Luo Feng's family were in there. Mommy, Daddy's rank has gone up suddenly. In an instant it suddenly rose to the top 120,000. Look. Little Hai excitedly brought the screen before Shushin. Hongguo and Gongshin Lam, who were sitting in the sofa, were shocked as well as they opened their own screens. Wow, it rose so quickly. That's what I said. Uncle and Daddy were conserving their energy. Little Ping said, Big Uncle just started to unleash his powers yesterday, and now he's already made it to the top 10,000. Daddy won't disappoint either. Look, your daddy's risen again, to the top 60,000. Luo Hongguo couldn't help but be shocked. What? Within the time span of a few words that we spoke, he went from 120,000 to 60,000. Shugang said shocked, look, it's still rising. Daddy's rank is constantly rising, already reaching 40,000. Wow. 30,000, he's already in the top 30,000. Little Hai was extremely excited. Within the entire room, everyone held their breaths. It was madness. The points skyrocketed, rising almost every second. What did this mean? It meant that Luo Feng was killing people every minute. It was simply a massacre. The 12th day of the elimination, First World. The violent winds howled, the smell of blood permeated the air. In a street that was filled with marks of battle, Luo Feng walked slowly carrying a knife and shield on his back. The entire street was empty. Madman, he is a madman, that's him. I heard within 2 short days, he killed over 100 warriors in the East District, right? That's him. He doesn't reason with anyone at all and kills anyone he meets. Simply, he just kills, and kills. And he's incredibly strong too. In the distant skyscraper, 2 partners were peering through a glass window at Luo Feng, who walking down the alley. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows, shouting coldly, come out. His voice boomed, resounding through the alley, madman. We don't want to fight you, so don't be unreasonable. A universe language shout returned, madman. Another low voice came out, just reaching the top 1,001 of the first world means passing the elimination. You should already easily be able to reach that. You don't have to bully others so much. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Many surviving geniuses, especially those with similar strengths and power levels, would temporarily form alliances. All of you better come out. Otherwise, I'm coming in. Luo Feng remained cold and shouted. 3 human silhouettes rushed out from the window of the shopping center and floated in mid-air. One of them had a huge body structure with brown-yellow skin, and the other 2 were similar in size to Luo Feng, a man and a lady. These 3 all looked at the black-haired youth with a knife and shield on his back as they felt immense fear and rage. The name Madman had spread across the city in a short time. Madman, an absolute warrior who was simply insane. Hundreds had died by his hand and no one was even a match for him. One had to know that these were all geniuses. However, there was still a stark difference between each level of genius. Madman, I was sent here from the imperial family of the Ganwu Universe country to participate. You. That tall man said seriously, die. Luo Feng said coldly, stepping on the soaring shuttle, go. The 3 people's expressions changed as they immediately turned and fled, cursing inwardly, this madman. Even though I'm from the Ganwu Universe country's imperial family, he doesn't show any respect or give face at all. Even though there were over 8 trillion participants, they were made of the different countries, star fields, organizations, or even independent. As for the imperial family of the Ganwu Universe country, they sent a total of over 100 million. However, according to the instructions from the leader of the country, these 100 million had strived to take over half of the top 100,000. The golden swordfish pierced through that tall and built man's forehead. That man had long lost any courage to face him. With a blank look in his face, he was killed immediately. The black-clothed lady gritted her teeth. The devil will definitely kill you. Luo Feng coldly killed her. With the soaring shuttle speed, Luo Feng immediately killed 2 of them. The third had fled in a different direction. After killing those 2, he already couldn't catch up with the third, devil. HMPH. Hopefully he allows me to use my domain. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. Participant, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points. 863,829 rank. 1, 0, 12 inch. The higher up I go, the slower I jump in rank. However, it's still fast. I've almost reached the top 1,000. Luo Feng thought. Within that beautiful universe ship, the heirs, princes and princesses from the various Ganwu Universe country star fields were all laughing and discussing. Quickly look, Look, Brolin, your Ganwi Universe country has one who has made it into the top 1001 already. One of the royal princes shouted loudly. Right now, of the close to 1000 mid-level universe countries, there were still over 200 of these that have zero that had made it through the first round. At the same time, many god countries and countless organizations have been paying attention to this genius battle, taking down Luo Feng's name. However, the most passionate and excited were the citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, and some upper echelon people. Ha, there's one who has made it into the top 1001. Quickly look, just who is this Luo Feng? From our Black Dragon Mountain, there's someone who's made it into the top 1001. Luo Feng. Never heard of that name. Quickly, check where's he from. Above the barrier in the 82nd world, in a universe ship, there was a particular luxurious universe ship. In a single room, there was a Dream Clan young lady with a steaming hot figure kneeling by the side, massaging a fat and chubby youth. Young master, quickly come look. There is someone from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire who's made it into the top 1001. The Dream Clan young lady shouted. The fat youth lay there, casually tapping to open a side screen. On it displayed was the ranking. As he looked, he immediately stared wide-eyed. Damn, there really is one. Wow, and this warrior is actually called Luo Feng. His name is similar to the friend I made on Horned Dragon Star. The chubby youth was the Gao Xing, whom Luo Feng had met back then on Horned Dragon Star. Interesting. I have to tell Luo Feng. Gao Xing quickly sent out a call request. After a while, he creased his eyebrows. Still not answering. 1 minute, 2 minutes, that's weird. He's not answering my call. Gao Xing was suspicious. Master, maybe the one who's made it into the top 1001 is young Master Luo Feng. The Dream Clan young lady smiled and said. Gao Xing simply waved his hand. What do you know? Those able to get into the top 1001 are absolute geniuses among the geniuses. Considering the Black Dragon Mountain star field is so vast and huge with countless star levels, similar names are very common. In a particular single room, Nuolan Shan's cold eyes stared at the screen. On it displayed was Luo Feng's name, Luo Feng. Nuolan Shan creased his eyebrows. This name the elimination stage wasn't broadcasted, and the universe was simply too vast. With countless numbers of citizens, it was common to see people with similar names. I really hope that this is not the Luo Feng that I know. Nuolan Shan creased his eyebrows, staring hard and suspiciously at the name on the screen that gave him constant headaches. Congratulations. Your Majesty, great news. The entire spacious living room immediately erupted. All the huge figures in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire immediately cheered. To be able to enter such a gathering, other than the Empire's personal ministers, sector lords, domain lords, or even the emperors of the over 500 basic level universe countries, their positions far exceeded that of Nuolan Shan. Dressed in a dark black imperial robe, the emperor let out a carefree laugh. The laughter was so thick it reverberated within that big living room. At the foremost of the living room was a huge screen. On it displayed was the ranking and the name of the warrior of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire that made it into the top 1001, temporarily one, Luo Feng. Luo Feng, very good. The Empire let out a huge laugh, roaring. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire isn't at the bottom this time. This Luo Feng's contributions won't be for naught. He must be rewarded. Right, he must be rewarded. This Luo Feng has made huge contributions. Your Majesty is wise. The group of officials were all busy flattering the emperor. Their compliments were just like a tide. These basic level civilization empire emperors were all incomparably passionate. Your Majesty, right now it's still far from the end of the first stage. We'll know the final result when it ends. Beside the emperor, a bald old man who seemed refined said softly. Behind his ears, there seemed to be another 4 small ears. To actually say such words when the emperor was happy, this old man's position must be extremely high. He was one of the sector lords attending the gathering, right? The emperor slightly nodded. However, even if Luo Feng falls towards the back, he still made huge contributions. Luo Feng didn't know that at the time he made it into the top 1001, he had perked the interest of many, especially the citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, who felt extremely proud and excited. It was similar to watching any world-level competition on Earth. When one's own country's player were chosen, they were incomparably proud and excited. All of them were anticipating their country to emerge as the winner. And the Genius Battle was one of the 2 biggest gatherings for the entire human race of the universe. The influence amongst the masses was even more shocking. At this time, the trillions of citizens in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire were all cheering for and anticipating Luo Feng's victory, supporting him. Madman. In the city that Luo Feng stayed within, it was a name that ranked among the top 10. Of course, every time he massacred, he was cautious and prudent. As time dragged on, Luo Feng too naturally felt mentally fatigued, having to recover for a period of time. No matter what opponent he faced, he would make sure he maintained his best form and peak performance, almost like a lion hunting a rabbit, using his full strength. As the stage draws on, it gets harder and harder to rise up the ranks. Luo Feng opened his eyes, his gaze reserved, looking down at the screen on his wrist. Participant: Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points: 3,129,302 rank. 398 to be able to rank amongst the first few and to ensure they maintain within the top 1,000, many would kill madly, gaining as many points as possible. Especially when absolute geniuses faced off against each other. One match alone could give millions of points. This resulted in the situation of the higher up the ranks they went, the more crazy the points they acquired. With Luo Feng's rise from the top 10 million to the 997, he had increased by about 900,000 points. From 997 to 398, he had an increase of over 2 million. It's time to hunt. Luo Feng's gaze gleamed. Standing directly up, at the same time his spirit energy spreading out almost like a torrential storm, scanning the entire 800-meter area around him. 3 prey. Luo Feng flew as quickly as lightning from the balcony, almost like a flash forming a beam of light through the residential area. Behind him, the golden fish jumped about excitedly, seemingly extremely happy and carefree before it began heading towards his prey to give them a passionate kiss. It's madman. Run! With a shocked howl, 2 of the warriors were immediately killed by Luo Feng. The only youth that managed to get away was chased for a few kilometers before being killed as well. At night, this city had night and day. The winds howled. Luo Feng carried on his back a battle knife and shield, quietly walking in the streets, which were filled with dried blood and occasional cracks and splits in the ground. Other than the remains of corpses all around, the only living thing was Luo Feng. Madman was a new name that had appeared suddenly. An incredibly crazy person who killed anyone he saw. Most slaughters and fights were on a choice basis. Slaughtering others normally gave one an unbearable feeling. This madman, however, seemed to enjoy slaughtering others. In terms of strength, he was regarded as the city's top 10 devil, a powerful warrior that rose from the beginning and could be said to dominate the city's East District. He was once regarded as the East District's number 1. However, since Madman's rise to fame, his first place position came into skepticism, mainly because Madman was also from the East District. Interesting. Luo Feng's eyes had a sense of excitement. He immediately walked towards Devil. The Darkness Clan man, who was 3 meters tall and was holding onto his black hammers, after killing one opponent, immediately began chasing after his other opponent. His footsteps were peculiar. Every step he took, it seemed as though he immediately closed a large distance. It was extremely fast. And his final opponent was a youth with beautiful crystal-like skin. He looked fearful and swiftly tried to flee. How did I meet Devil, this demon? It's too late, it's too late. Suddenly, the Darkness Clan warrior Devil wielding his hammers suddenly stopped, his single eye staring ahead. Darkness enshrouded the alley ahead. A man walked quietly. Compared to the 3-meter-tall skinny, but fit Darkness Clan Devil, he was obviously much smaller. His entire height was only 1.8 m, dressed in dark gray armor, carrying a battle knife and shield. One step at a time. It however made the Darkness Clan warrior Devil give up on his final chase. That handsome youth flew in mid-air, still in shock. In the alley, the Devil's single eye was staring at Luo Feng. Luo Feng too was staring at this opponent before him. His eyes were gleaming with a sense of excitement. Madman. The Devil's voice was cold. Devil. Luo Feng actually revealed an excited smile.
Thank you.